I deeply, deeply respect the intent of this law because it is a good intent with a good heart. And the testimony we just heard is incredibly hard to hear. And I know that if there was a law that I thought would save my child, I'd stop at nothing to get it passed. And I would hate anybody who stood in the way. And so in explaining this vote, I don't ask you not to hate me. And I'm glad that you made us see your face. But it's a bad law. We've heard from proponents of this bill that it can be used to prosecute healthcare professionals. We've heard that it can be used to prosecute users. We've heard from the Pima County attorney that they're already beginning to use our existing laws more creatively and having good results from that. I think there's wisdom in waiting to see how that plays out. But none of that really fully understands or explains my vote. The problem is I'm not free to vote how I might like to vote on a bill like this because I took an oath. I took an oath a month ago to the Constitution. And I think that this bill, there's a way to rework it, there's a way to make it work, but in its current form, it's unconstitutional. Let me read you a portion of a U.S. Supreme Court case, Buckley versus Florida. It has long been established by this court that the Due Process Clause forbids a state to convict a person of a crime without proving the elements of that crime beyond a reasonable doubt. The bill, as written, does not require the state to prove that the sale of the drug was the but-for cause of the death. In other words, it does not require the state to prove that if that sale hadn't happened, the person wouldn't have died. But as anybody, and you don't have to be a lawyer to know this, knows, murder means killing another person. A law that allows somebody to be convicted of murder without killing somebody is neither just nor unconstitutional. But I would also point out that this bill is not limited to fentanyl. It sweeps far more broadly than it needs to. Now, there are things I would support. I have offered to the chair to get this bill in a form where I could be supportive. I know there's another bill coming up, sponsored by Representative Gress, that targets enhanced penalties to a specific dosage of fentanyl. Targeted approaches like that I can also support. But I cannot break my oath. And voting in favor of this bill would require me to do that. Arizona's greatest senator once said, if I should be attacked for ignoring the interests of my constituents, then I'll respond that I was informed that their primary interest was liberty. And in that regard, I'm doing the very best that I can. And so I ask for your grace because I am doing the very best that I can to protect our Constitution while trying to give law enforcement the tools that they need
your vote,
to
sir?
make this work. With that, Mr. Chair, I do vote nay.